In each of those cases, the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon in each of those counts. And the court will give you credit for any time served. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sí.
Yes,
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Edgar Aguilar Hernández.
Edgar Aguilar Hernandez.
All right, defense.
Mr. Aguilar, were you in your right mind on March 16th of 2023?
No,
Do you recall any of the events that happened on March 16th of 2023?
No,
no,
Do you have any memory of all of these accusations and evidence that has been brought against you?
es muy poquito lo que recuerdo. Son partes muy cortas.
it's very little that I remember. They're like short bits and pieces.
Are you embarrassed and horrified to hear all of these things that you were doing on March 16th of 2023?
Claro,
Of
claro que
course,
sí.
of course I am.
How does it make you feel to hear all of these things and to see the video and review all of this evidence?
Fatal, muy mal.
Terrible, very, very badly.
During the 2 weeks leading up to March 16th, 2023, were you under the heavy influence of methamphetamine?
Como ya les había explicado desde el principio,
As I had explained from the beginning,
yo estaba pasando por una crisis de vida muy fuerte.
I was going through a very strong bad crisis in my life.
Yo me quería quitar la vida.
I wanted to kill myself.
No quería hacerle daño a nadie, quería hacerme a mí mismo.
I
No a
didn't
nadie.
want to hurt anybody. I wanted to hurt myself, but not anybody,
No a alguien más.
not
que
anyone else.
hacer esto. Esto ocurrió sin que yo supiera.
This happened without my knowing.
So you do know that you were ingesting these drugs purposely, right?
Sí, la estaba yo ingiriendo
Yes, I was
a
ingesting them
propósito para quitarme la vida.
purposefully to kill myself, to take my own life.
And what happened as a result of what happened to your mind because of all of these drugs is what led to all of these cases, right?
Exactly.
And you've been in custody for nearly 2 years now, since March 16th of 2023, right?
Sí,
Yes,
And you've obviously been sober and you've had time to reflect on all the, everything that happened on that day and leading up to that day, right?
sí,
yes,
And you've essentially lost your family, right? Your wife and your children.
todo hasta mi libertad.
everything, even my freedom.
And it's been an agonizing almost 2 years, just knowing everything that happened and pain you have caused to other people, your family, and to strangers, right?
Exactly.
And you're not a US citizen, is that correct?
No, tendría nomás un permiso y el proceso de estar aquí
No,
con permiso y seguro ser para trabajar.
no, I only had a permit and I was in the process. I had a permit to work.
You were a resident and you had a work permit, is that correct?
Sí,
And you were in
Yes.
the process of working with an immigration attorney to become a US citizen.
residente.
Resident.
And you know that because of these 2 convictions, that may not happen, and it's very likely that you could be deported to Mexico, is that correct?
Correcto.
Correct.
And you are asking for mercy from this court to give you the minimum, which would be 2 years with credit for the time you've served, so that you can try your best to pick up the pieces and move on with your life, whether that be in Mexico or somewhere else, right?
Se lo pediría con el corazón
I would ask you from the bottom of my heart
que si pudiera hacer eso,
if you could do that.
pero sé que también se mira mal por los hechos.
But I also know that it looks bad based on the facts.
sea, cuando lo hace uno intencional, yo creo que sí se merece tiempo.
When you
Y
do
que
it
lo-
intentionally, I do think you deserve the time.
Y si llegué a un juicio, no fue porque sea cínico, sinvergüenza,
And if I went to trial, it's not because I'm cynical or shameless,
sino porque yo no estaba consciente, no recordaba todo lo que pasó.
but because I wasn't aware, I didn't remember everything that happened.
Porque también tengo familia y no quisiera que pasara, que le hicieran intencional a mi familia.
Because I also have a family and I wouldn't want someone to do intentionally to my family.
Fue por eso que llevé esto a trial, no por,
That's why I took this to trial,
no porque sea así.
not because I'm cynical.
No further questions.
State, any questions?
Mr. Aguilar, you've been arrested for possession of a controlled substance in Austin, Texas, is that correct?
Por una cerveza.
Ah.
Sí, sí, una botella de cerveza.
Yes, over a beer, yes, a bottle of beer.
And do you recall when you were in custody in the Bexar County Jail, you met, with the doctor to evaluate your mental state?
¿En San Antonio?
In San Antonio?
Yes,
Sí.
Yes,
okay. And do you recall reporting to that doctor that you had been, doing methamphetamine for at least a year prior to being arrested?
Sí.
yes,
Okay. And so when you were arrested, that wasn't the first time that you had ingested methamphetamine, correct?
No, ya tenía más o menos 15 días que era todo de día y noche.
no, it had been like 15 days that I would do it day and night.
Okay. And during this time, you weren't sleeping or doing anything productive?
No,
Honestly, nothing. No dormía más que una hora.
I didn't sleep, but maybe an hour.
I guess the female victims that testified in the trial, do you recall them when they came in here to testify?
Sí.
Yes,
And you said you didn't know them, right?
No, a
Okay.
nadie
no,
conocía.
I didn't know anybody.
Do you, your home address was that on Rosa Trail?
Sí.
Yes,
Okay, and so you lived on King Street as those victims, correct?
Si viven en esa calle, sí.
if they live on that street, yes,
Okay, and so you followed them from that street to where the incident occurred on 410, right?
Ah, cuando me pregunta que si las iba siguiendo, no recuerdo esas partes que me dicen que
when you're asking me if I followed them, I don't remember those parts where you're.
And are you aware that the doctor's conclusion was that you were not suffering from any severe mental disease or defect at the time that you engaged in this conduct?
sí, padezco de migraña.
Yes, I suffer from migraines.
We have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right,
I just
any
wanted to
follow-up?
clarify one thing briefly. You had been using methamphetamine for a whole year prior to March 16th of 2023, correct?
No, casi, no un año, era como como 6 meses de lo que pasó para atrás.
Not a year, like it's 6 months before what happened.
Quite some time before the March 16th of 2023, right?
Sí,
Yes,
But you were using it in what you thought were lethal dosages to try to take your own life about 2 weeks prior to the incident.
exacto.
exactly.
Are you extremely sorry for what happened to that woman and her daughters?
Vuelvo a decir, sí, sí me siento fatal, me siento
I will say it
triste
again,
por todo lo que pasó.
I feel horrible. I'm very sad about everything that happened.
And just to be clear, you don't remember them being your neighbors, correct?
No,
Or you're
No.
just saying you did live on Rosa Trail, and if they did live on Rosa Trail, then y'all were possibly on the same street.
sí,
But you have no
Yes, yes.
recollection of these people from being your neighbors. Okay.
no.
No,
Is there any
no.
Is there anything else that you want Judge Boyd to know that she hasn't already heard in the trial or here today that you would like her to consider before she makes her decision?
Lo único es la condena no sea como si fue en los 5 sentidos.
The only thing would be that the conviction, the sentence isn't as if I had done it in with my 5 senses.
Pues como dijo la abogada, si tuviera la condena reducida.
Like the attorney mentioned, if you could reduce the sentence.
All right. Any other questions, defense?
Nothing further, Judge.
State, any further questions? All right, any other witnesses, defense?
No, none from the defense.
State, any rebuttal witnesses? All right, the court will hear argument and state.
Judge, we're asking for 10 years and TCJ. I will agree with what the defendant and his counsel have represented. His conduct on that day was embarrassing and horrifying. And the 3 victims, Raquel, Fatima, and Brittany, also found it horrifying. And then the punishment witness that we brought in today, Victor, also found it horrifying. So much to the fact that Brittany, Raquel, and Fatima, I mean, Your Honor, I would ask you to take judicial notice of the evidence that was presented in the trial. But the court was able to observe their demeanor when they came in here, and they're still very much in fear over what happened on that day. And Mr. Lopez, who testified today, testified that he believed that the defendant was trying to kill him on that day. And so that's why we don't.
All right. And then with regards to the lesser included offense,
I'll defer to.
all right. Defense?
Yes, Your Honor, just brief argument. You sat through the whole entire trial. I think it's undisputed that he was under the influence of methamphetamine combined with alcohol. He was attempting to take his own life. He's horrified to learn. He has very little memory of what occurred on that day, and he's been horrified for the past 2 years to learn more and more details of what happened that day, to see himself on video, to hear from these witnesses and hear their experience. We are not condoning his behavior. He's not excusing his behavior. However, I would like the court to also just consider and take note that he's not a United States citizen. He's had an ICE hold at the jail throughout the time he's been in custody since March 16th of 2023. Because of these convictions, there are second-degree felonies, aggravated offenses. We believe that it's like the likely outcome is that he will be deported in light of these convictions. So based on that, he has almost 2 years in custody. March 16th, 2020 of this year will be 2 years. We ask that the court sentence him to the minimum and then come what may on the immigration front. And that way he could try to rebuild his life in Mexico and try to find family. He does have an ex-wife and 3 minor children here that prior to this incident, he did help financially support his wife, or excuse me, ex-wife wasn't able to be here due to obligations with the children, but we are in contact with her. She did represent to us that he did financially provide for her and the children leading up to this event. So with that and with all the evidence you've heard, especially his mental state at the time, we ask that you sentence him to 2 years TDC.
All right, and with regards to the lesser included offense?
We'll also defer to the court.
Everybody is deferring to the court on, I want to know what you all are asking for.
Yeah,
Yes.
the class C, so.
So it's, as a class C, I believe the range of punishment for that is $0 to a $500 fine. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, so I think, not that I'm saying that it's not important. There is no imprisonment associated with that. So whether I give a $0 fine or not, and these fines that are collected, no one knows where they go. So with regards to count 1, the lesser included offense of assault, I'm going to do a $0 fine on that one. Now, with regards to counts 2 and counts 3, Mr. Aguilar, I understand that sometimes we do things, maybe we're under the influence of drugs. it is no doubt in my mind that you were under the influence of some type of substance based upon the testimony that the court heard. And based upon the officer saying there was dos equis in the vehicle that had been consumed and some that were not consumed, and also based upon the finding of meth. I understand that sometimes if we were not under the influence of certain things, that we would behave differently. But as you know, and as your attorneys know, voluntarily consuming drugs or alcohol is not a defense to anything. It may be used as mitigation to say, this is why I behaved in a certain way. So I understand that. So no one has addressed this issue for the court. Other than this case, does he have any criminal history? I know there was a mention of him having alcohol or some type of drug substance in Austin. Is there anything else?
Judge, as far as convictions go, he did have state jail trip on a possession.
All right. Anything else from either side before I pronounce sentence? All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are to run concurrently. Count 1, there's a $0 fine. And the reason why I'm giving a $0 fine as opposed to a $500 fine is, first off, no one knows where those fine monies go legally. And what I've read, I know where it's supposed to go. But when people are looking for those fees that have been deposited, no one can find them. So that's why I'm giving you a $0 fine on that. Counts 2 and counts 3. In each of those cases, the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon in each of those counts. And the court will give you credit for any time served. Is there any restitution for the complainants? I know there was a shattered glass. All right, so, and who was the owner of the vehicle?
It was not.
All right, so I'm gonna do restitution, if any, to the complainant, and nobody presented any restitution for the gentleman who testified for his vehicle. So there will be a restitution, if any, to, let me, just one moment, sorry, to Raquel Ildefonso Ortega. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the defense.
And I'm trying to see if I have a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did y'all do one?
I don't work.
All right, thank you. And are you all going to, thank you. And Mr. Aguilar, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes,
All right, you have a right to appeal because this was a jury trial, but because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And also, I'm going to request for you, the therapeutic community. I have no jurisdiction for your placement in the program, but if you let them know that you would like to be a part of the program, they'll see that I requested it as well. And perhaps they can help you with your sobriety and also any mental health issues. Is there anything else from either side?
Not from the state.
Nothing, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, Mr. Aguilar. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 012590 and 2024 CR 012469, State versus Richard Baker. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Pat Montgomery for Mr. Richard Baker, Your Honor.
All right. And are you Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Baker, in each cause number, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, did you review the true bill of indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, and each cause number, are you proceeding, I'm sorry, defense, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, and each cause number, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Case number 2024 CR 0124669. State is proceeding on count 1 of the indictment and waiving count 2.
Any objection?
And with regards to 2024 CR 012590, state will proceed with indictment as is.
And each cause number, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, that's right.
And the cause number ending in 90, you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication in that cause number, if for any reason your community supervision were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
And the cause number ending in 69, you're charged with the offense of assault family household member with a previous conviction as a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you were granted the application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Sure.
In each cause number, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
In each cause number, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand by entering these plea bargain agreements, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in each of these cases?
Sure.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Baker, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And each of the cause numbers that you review the plea bargain page with your attorney, did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And the cause number ending in 90, according to the plea bargain agreement, there's a cap of 6 years in the prison. The state is silent on your applications. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 012469. Did you understand after reading the state stipulation, if the court determines that there is an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, the court will find an affirmative finding of deadly weapon?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in that case?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea in that case?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea in that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cause number ending in 69, according to your plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state opposes your application for deferred adjudication. They'll be silent on your application for community supervision. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 012590. The state will take in consideration 2024 CC 740803. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Patrick Baker and Jerry Baker. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand that to be your plea in that cause number? Did you review in each cause number the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Sure.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to count 1 and cause number 2024 CR 012469, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And in cause number 2024 CR 012590, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State in each of those cause numbers any evidence to support the defendant's pleas?
And in each instance, no objection.
All right, in each cause number, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorneys?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places. Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments. And state, have you had a chance to speak with the complainants?
For 2024 CR 01246, I'm going to have the honor and he would like to come with regard to.
All right, in each cause number, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. We can go off the record. So counsel, are you requesting a full PSI? If you want a full PSI, then it'll probably be 6 to 8 weeks reset. Or if y'all would like, you can reset it for a shorter time, call witnesses, and I'll hear witnesses, and state will provide me criminal history.
I think in this instance, a full PSI might be called for. He's got PTSD from 2 trips, one in combat in Afghanistan, one in Iraq. There's some other issues. We're also, if the court eventually grants some kind of community supervision, we're probably going to ask that it be supervised through the Veterans Court, Veterans Treatment Court. So there's a lot going on. There's reason for a full PSI.
All right, so the court will order a PSI TAP evaluation. This is to be done in custody, the MIC evaluation in custody, and a referral to VTC, and that's just to see if they would even be willing to accept him. And it's
Indeed.
not saying that I will, if they accept you, I'm not saying that I'm going to grant your application. I don't know if I'm going to grant your application yet. I will make my decision based upon the evidence that's presented to me. You understand?
It's happening anyway. That.
Yes,
Okay,
and any other evidence that's presented to me.
thank you.
Mr. Baker knows that probation is not a short. He knows that.
All right. What date, Ms. Ferguson?
April 8th.
All right. We'll come back on April 8th. All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Pat.
All right. Jose Maciel, if you'll come forward. Hello. Hi. So why were you not here?
Well, actually, when I talked to my attorney about it, he said, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I said, that's fine. And then as I was getting dressed to go to work at 2:30, he called me, goes, where you at? I said, I'm getting dressed, I'm going to work. He said, you're not in court? I said, no. He didn't tell me nothing about it.
No. See,
And-
you signed. Does anybody have a copy of that reset form, please?
It's attached to the document in the back.
All right. We signed the reset form and it says you're supposed to be here on February 18th.
Correct, yes. And the only
So
thing,
today is February 18th.
yes, and I apologize for that. And the only thing I saw was the 25th on it. That on the 25th, that's the day I looked on it, on the right side, on the this February 25th, that's the thing I looked right away.
Yeah, that's February 11th,
I
2025.
I know, but the only thing I saw was just 25th. Because just like you said, 2 weeks, okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks, I'll be here in 2 weeks.
So let me just explain something to you. When these are filled out, people are just not killing trees just to be killing trees.
Yes, sir.
You need to make sure you see this date
Okay.
and that you appear. Otherwise, what ends up happening, a warrant is issued. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can you call his bondsman and ask if he has any objection to the court reinstating the bond? All right, so we're gonna call your bondsman,
Okay.
or either, Norma, is this defense attorney available?
I can come to him in.
No, I mean, somebody needs to call the bondsman and ask the bondsman if they have any objection to the court reinstating.
1 second.
All right, so here's the thing, you'll need to have a seat in the box. Let's see if the bondsman is okay with me reinstating your bond, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2024 CR 06932 and 2024 CR 007342. State versus Marie Elena Morales. And does she need to have a seat?
I have a seat shirt right here.
All right, thank you. Deputy Laura, you're always
Yeah, you're,
ready.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason, Your Honor.
defense?
Gerald Cabina for defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Miss Morales?
I am.
All right, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you received all discovery in each of these cause numbers and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications in this case? All right, in each cause number, did you review what's entitled application for community supervision or deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment in each cause number?
Yes, Your Honor.
State in the cause number ending in 3-2, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
And in the cause number ending in 4-2, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're proceeding on count one, along waiting count two.
Any objection?
No, no objection, Your Honor.
All right, in each cause number, did you review the document entitled court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
I did, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand in cause number ending in 3-2, you're charged with theft under $2,500 enhanced? And in the cause number ending in 4-2, you're charged with theft of property less than $2,500 with 2 or more previous convictions. Each of these are state jail felonies. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement in these cause numbers, the court does not have to the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering into these plea bargain agreements, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into pleas in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, are there any applications for deferred adjudication?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. In each cause number, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There be a $2,000 fine. The causes were run concurrently. And in the cause number ending in 4-2, the state is proceeding on count 1 only. Did you understand that to be your plea? Oh, I'm sorry. And in each case, they're recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be your plea in each of the causes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State
Yes,
is
Your
at the plea. In each cause number, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both
I
places?
did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Bell's, BEALLS, or Kavanagh store. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
I do, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in cause number 2024 CR 006932, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And count 1 in cause number 2024 CR 007342, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence? Any
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Morales, in each of the cause numbers, did you review the documents entitled entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Your Honor, and I did understand.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Your Honor.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. In each cause number, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I know that, my client is, she does.
whatever the court grants me, and I understand I was wrong. I, I'm like asking the court to please to show me some mercy, and I woke up in this community service without a doubt successfully. I know that. I'm not, it's not my occupation any longer.
Who
I'm
lives in your
embarrassed and
home with you?
ashamed of my actions.
Who lives in the home with you?
I live with my husband, and we live with my cousin and her husband.
And how many children are in that home?
0. I have an adult child. She lives in Corpus Christi.
So you're saying there are no minors in your home?
No minors. My husband's children are all grown as well. So my daughter's 32 years old.
All right. Anything else?
Your Honor, like I said, I did speak with, well, Your Honor, I would ask that you, please grant us community supervision. And the thing is, Your Honor, I did suggest to my client, if she did want to plea bargain, she may want to just take jail time, but, she convinced me that, she can make the probation, and I think that'd be more beneficial for her. Plus, I think it would be detrimental with her health to do jail time. And I think she had a rough time when she was in jail last time on this charge, and I don't think she ever wants to be there again, Your Honor.
All right, and cause number 2024 CR 007342, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's a $2,000 fine that'll be probated, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, 200 hours of community service Okay, all right, thank you. And then Jason Moore. All right, what is happening with this case?
Mr. Moore would like to continue with his appointed counsel.
All right, Norma, if you'll recall this for February 20th.
February 20th, yes.
Yes. All right, thank you. And then, Mr. Flores. Come down. All right, your attorney is not present. We can recall you for Thursday.
Okay,
All right, you're fine with that?
Thursday?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, and you're okay with keeping your attorney?
Yeah, he's doing a good
Oh,
job.
he's hired?
He's hired, Judge.
All right, so we're
Yeah.
gonna bring you back on February
Yeah,
20th.
he's doing a good job.
All right, thanks.
He got other people in trouble because he just went with the ring.
No,
Yeah.
I do not.
All right, and what has happened with Messiel?
Maciel, the bond state, go stay on the bond.
All right, Mr. Messiel.
Okay.
And Norma, on this one, we're gonna recall it for Thursday. You need to be here Thursday at 9 a.m. Do you understand? All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay. No.
All right. If you can just send it to me, then.
Michelle?